Howdy, my name is Brennan Sanders. I'm a third and final semester Master of Land and Property Development Program student. I'm a Baton Rouge native and LSU alumni. My professional real estate development experience is highlighted by my internship this past summer with Dominium Development and Acquisitions, the second largest owner of affordable housing in the United States. Brief background as to why we're here. We have been tasked with creating an office building for Texas A&M University at the Century Square development on the corner of University and College Avenue. In this venture, we will be representing and pitching our concept and implementation plan to Midway Companies, a development company out of Houston, Texas. This project is uniquely challenging in that this office facility must fulfill the role of being an iconic landmark building which signifies and solidifies Texas A&M University's place in the realm of education around the globe as that of being top tier. A seemingly difficult challenge at first, but as always, the steeper the challenge, the greater the opportunity. I have been so fortunate as to have spent the greater part of the past year and a half listening to this Australian fellow you may have met by now ramble on about creating assets of enduring value. I've also been fortunate enough to work alongside some pretty tremendous developers, from which I've gained thorough knowledge of development conceptualization, financial structuring, as well as activating and managing assets. I will be bringing on board Michael Kostka. Michael interned this summer with the leading office building developer in the Houston area, McCord Development, on their Generation Park project. Michael has had first-hand experience of the ins and outs of delivering Class A office space in this region, and I am very fortunate to be able to add him and the thoughts and insights he may provide to our development team. We will begin with conceptualization, as that is the first part of the development process. Our team is already undergoing, but will continue to rigorously study a few areas to really enable ourselves to hone in on a great concept, namely Texas A&M and its architecture, the College Station office market, as well as the finest Class A office spaces around the world. Make no mistake, this must be a building that contains the essence that is Texas A&M University. But what exactly is that essence, and how can one person or team translate that into an architectural design? A well-grounded research effort must be put into place to examine the consensus of Aggies, old and new, of what comes to mind when they think of architecture in Texas A&M. It is critical to understand that this building is not merely intended to be a building that trumps other office buildings, present and future if in College Station, but also around the world. We must bring forth an asset of the highest visual and structural quality while maintaining efficiency and profitability. To do so, some inspiration will be sought from other similarly placed assets in differing markets. On that point, it is often said if you want to be successful, find someone who achieved what you would like to achieve and do exactly what they did. No, my competitive nature would lead me to say critique it, find ways to improve on it, and do it better. But nonetheless, we must understand that we are young professionals with much to learn, and will be very studious and open to researching already implemented buildings with the intent of beating them. Because College Station's going office rents, as well as what a public university can justify paying for rent, will somewhat limit us in capabilities compared to other assets in thriving office markets, our design process will be closely knitted to our financial feasibility analyses. It will be an ongoing, imperfect effort that will demand great communication and teamwork. As has become standard for Class A office facilities currently entering the market, the space will feature commercial spaces which act to complement the office space, as well as a parking garage to handle our parking demands. Myself and my partner have already begun working vigilantly to determine a site layout which best utilizes our site's size, shape, and location, and we look forward to bringing new minds and ideas into this process. Moving to the financial realm of this project, a key aspect of the financial planning of this project will revolve around a well-executed market study which will solidify the rents for the office and commercial spaces we can expect to negotiate from. These numbers will serve as a basis for sizing debt, the construction costs we can incur, as well as the basis for making value-add decisions in the design process. Both Michael and myself have experience in budgeting vertical developments, and we look forward to working side by side with the architects we partner with to arrive at a development budget which finds a sweet spot with what can be supported by our rental income and also supports the construction of a landmark office building. And that is really going to be the most demanding challenge of this overall process. Though finding the balance between designing an incredible building and ensuring our income stream can support it is going to be quite the task, there is some upside here because it is a build-to-suit office building, which places us in a position to negotiate with the features the tenant desires and the rent price, ultimately making the process flexible and evolving, as well as putting the ball in our court in some situations. As far as the capital stack for this project goes, we hope to arrive at a debt size which we can ensure will be serviced with ease by the rents generated, as well as an equity contribution which will make competitive return on investment something we can ensure, not speculate. Texas A&M University is limited in the tenant security they can provide, but we have a route around that by leasing them through a separate corporate entity. Asset activation and management are processes which follow design and implementation in the development process. They are critical to the performance of the real estate, as at the end of the day, a real estate asset is a series of cash flows. Its performance and success is dependent on these cash flows, and achieving these cash flows is directly tied to the aspects of the development and design process we will undergo together. While our assignment ends upon a theoretical delivery of the asset, we must take the circumstances concerning activation and management into account during our design and feasibility processes. This will require critical and creative thinking to understand and forecast how the building will perform and the steps we can take in designing an asset that is easy to activate and can be managed efficiently with ease. Success in this project is going to require a combination of creative and innovative thinking as well as hard work and determination. The nature of this project is one that is very heavily research intensive. The team which puts forth the greatest and most well-placed research effort will likely walk away the prevailing team in this project. I am a passionate supporter of the belief that there is no more powerful device of human thought than a group of motivated, intelligent people sitting around a table approaching problems from their diverse social, educational, and professional backgrounds. As such, that will be the philosophy moving forward during the project. Thank you for considering my presentation. I would kindly ask if you consider yourself an individual who is excited to get to work on this project and tackle this challenge head-on in a fast-paced and competitive environment to consider working along myself and Michael.